It's 2007, and Bungie has already started production on one of their final Halo projects for Microsoft, Halo Reach, a prequel set to tell the tale of the most pivotal moment in Halo canon. All the while, Microsoft is wringing out the Halo brand for everything they could, resulting in several cancelled projects, all helmed by Peter Jackson of Lord of the Rings fame, including a live-action adaptation and an episodic adventure dubbed Halo Chronicles, which started production in 2006 and was later cancelled a few years later, but the team that worked on it wasn't entirely left in the dust. Those who survived the Bungie layoffs were given another project, not wanting to waste the team's potential, beginning production on a short 3-hour bonus campaign for Halo 3 set to shed some light on the events between Halos 2 and 3, and eventually setting focus on the universe's ODSTs, an elite group of shock troopers who apparently were admired by fans even before this project, which started production around 2008, and given that most of the assets and engine were already in place, the team was able to craft a pretty quality product in just over a year. Now, I've been pretty harsh on the Halo series. I think my Halo 3 piece is my most disliked content on the channel at the time of recording this video, and if you ask me, I think I can finally understand why. It took me a while to understand the inner workings of Halo, and while I won't forgive the earlier games for their repetitive level design and bizarre direction choices, I took a bit of time off from reviewing these games from a newcomer's perspective. If you don't know, I tried to look at these games as a product, ignoring the work that was put into them and the context around it. And now I've taken some time to engross myself in the series a bit, and tried to gain a deeper understanding of them. And I think that especially in the case of Halo 3 onwards, I just literally didn't know enough about the gameplay loop that the game was asking of me. And while I'm still not the biggest fan of Halo 3's story and resolution, I've gained a newfound appreciation for the series, mainly in the gameplay, and I feel comfortable diving back into it. But yeah, I quite enjoyed ODST, and this time I played on Heroic from start to finish without adjusting the difficulty part of the way through. And while most of this video does primarily focus on the campaign, I did give the multiplayer a look too, and hey, learning that this game introduced Firefight gave it some extra bounty points for me as well. I love co-op PvE. Gotta take his hammer. Oh god, he's blue! Oh god, he's blue!
You're blue now!
What? Oh, there's 3 of them! And I even took time out of my day to play a few rounds of this purely for fun, not because I felt like I needed to for research. It's a genuinely fun time, especially with friends. Now you might be looking at this footage and going, Trav guy, that's not Halo ODST, that's Halo 3! And you would be right. Halo ODST did not ship with its own multiplayer, instead repackaging Halo 3's multiplayer with a few extra maps. And those maps are what you're looking at now. Get out of my car! Ow. Net Declassified School Survival Guide.
That's just the last thing you hear before you die.
Big thank you to a handful of my patrons who joined me for some of these multiplayer antics. It was a lot of fun, thank you guys. But alright, grab your helmet and your saxophone and prepare to drop because we've got a jazzy adventure ahead of us. We open on a reminder of the chain of events so far. The city of New Mombasa is under attack by the Covenant while the UNSC along with the Master Chief are preparing for a ground-level assault. The ODSTs, or Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, oh that's a tongue twister, are preparing to do their ODST things from their low-orbit carrier in what's described as a suicide mission, except it totally isn't, spoilers. I'm not sure if ODSTs ever got name-dropped in previous games. If I did, I totally spaced it out, but I know that I saw them back in Halo 2 with that gorgeous violet armor. It really stood out and I love it. And oh, let me tell ya, first impressions of our crew are all over the place. On one hand, I enjoy that our characters have some history with one another, mostly between the two largest focuses of the group, Veronica Dare and Buck, who I swear was Gabe from The Office at first, but is actually modeled and voiced after Nathan Fillion? Fillion? I mean, I guess I can see it. It's just not the first thing that comes to my mind. There's actually a lot of big names on the cast here. I'm not really too qualified to critique it, because aside from Nolan North and Alan Tudyk, I don't recognize a lot of these guys, sorry. The rest of the gang is a mixed bag of one-dimensional side characters whose only traits really seem to be aliens bad and sexism.
Dunno, Mickey. I wasn't looking at her gear.
Not exactly the most interesting gang of misfits, so hats off to our player character, Rookie, to just be chilling on his own away from the rest of them.
Wake up, Buttercup.
Relax, Rookie. He don't mean nothing. Besides, now's one of those times. Pays to be the strong, silent type.
Strong silent type is right, because I don't think Rookie says a single word in this entire game. And honestly, I'm fine with that. And I love the way that the HUD is present in these first-person cutscenes. It does a great job at bridging gameplay and story. The team prepares to drop into New Mombasa from their orbital pods, only to have their trajectories all kinds of screwed up when the Covenant carrier goes into slipspace. And from there, the stage is set. Your team is scattered across New Mombasa City, and it's up to you, the Rookie, to get the team back together. Or so you would think. I really love the atmosphere of New Mombasa. The dark and depressing streets it's overrun by Covenant brutes and grunts with this eerie red and yellow lighting. It's really unique. I am a little turned off by the yellow HUD. I would have chosen practically any other color, but after a while it did grow on me. And yes, your eyes are not fooling you, that is indeed a health bar. We're back to basics, like Halo 1 levels of basic. No gear items, no dual wielding, and no regenerating health, which of the three, I think the latter is what I missed the most, but I didn't end up minding all that much later on. We're not Spartans, we don't have shields, we have stamina, which fundamentally acts identically to shields in previous games, but that's not important. We also have possibly my favorite addition to the series, the Visual Intelligence System Reconnaissance, or VISOR for short, doubling as night vision and a sort of detective vision, highlighting enemies, weapons, and health packs in darker areas, and man, I love this feature. I spent about 20 minutes wandering around and absorbing the atmosphere of New Mombasa, and though I didn't regret it, it wasn't solely because I wanted to. I was under the impression that, hey, I'm fighting for my life here, so let me avoid combat altogether and just stealth around these platoons of Covenant, only to hit multiple dead ends and then slaughter the patrolling brutes out of desperation and boredom. And as if the game was rewarding my bloodlust, finally, this is the Superintendent, essentially your dossier, providing you with mission objectives, logs, and for the first time, a map. Oh my god, we have a map! Oh, what I would give to have this in previous Halo games. Oh, I love this so much. But then, we find Veronica Dare's helmet precariously smashed into a television. And if you're eager to know why, well, yep, it's one of those kind of stories. Now we're playing as Buck, making his way from the crashed drop pod over to save Veronica, armed with nothing but a couple of silenced weapons, which honestly, I don't hate that much. The pistol isn't great, but I found it fine for picking off smaller grunts at a distance. But aside from these two guns, it's all familiar weapons from here on, at least I think. Oh my eyes! We run into a couple of UNSC troopers who offer to distract the Covenant brutes if you're able to run around back and flank them. And while the previous Halo games had this, it was nice to have a sense of cooperation with these NPCs, working together to take down the Covenant and being met with the first big fight of the mission shortly thereafter, moving in and out of buildings, stealthily taking down jackals and stealing their beam rifles to gun down other Covenant from a distance. It just feels really good. The bastards even sent out a group of hunters, including this new golden variant, who instead of firing out these long beams of energy, fire out these bolts that explode on impact, a lot like their Halo 1 counterpart. And I think that's pretty cool, bringing back an older version of an enemy as a new variant. That's nice. Though I'd imagine Buck isn't too thrilled. Dare's pod is empty with little to no sign of her, until he's ambushed by what I can only describe as a giant nuclear sea urchin wearing Dare's helmet like it's a goddamn ring pop. Buck is saved by fellow ODST Romeo, only to find out that the sea urchin fucking explodes on death, launching Dare's helmet into the TV that the rookie interacted with that triggered this whole flashback. And Buck, assuming that Dare is gone, unites with Romeo to recover the remaining members of the team, which I guess Rookie missed out on given that we're still here. Alright, what's next? Whoa, is that the Allspark? Alright, well now we're playing as Dutch, aka the only nobody from the intro that doesn't come off as a prick.
I'm keeping my boots on the ground.
Holy shit, he starts with a Spartan laser. Oh, that's the good stuff. I wouldn't say this level is the most eventful in terms of story, but I wouldn't say that it's a bad one by any means. It's just more of the same. We've got these Covenant choppers though, essentially ghosts with a meat grinder on the front that shreds through anything. I thought that maybe by stealing one and ramming it into another head-on I would destroy the fabric of reality, but nope, it just turns my screen red. I lost my Warthog part of the way through and had to trek on foot for a bit until I came across this brute on a ghost, which I hijacked by EMPing with a plasma pistol, used said ghost to destroy turrets, took out a gunner on a Wraith, and then managed to board it and beat the shit out of it. And that felt fucking incredible. This was almost a come to Jesus moment for me. A feeling that I finally understand how Halo wants me to play and what it allows for. The moment made me reconsider a lot of my previous Halo endeavors. Fuck, I don't even care if I'm not a Spartan and it doesn't really make sense that I can punch out a tank. It felt so good. Careful with that thing, it's probably radioactive. And then we're back to present day with Rookie. As more of the streets and paths open up to the players, so does the Covenant control of the streets. This was one of the most difficult encounters in the game for me right here, with tons of Covenant plasma turrets set up around nearly every corner. Well, maybe I just need to find a turret myself. That's not what I meant. Oh boy, I don't like Mickey, and in extension I'm not the biggest fan of this level. You're supposed to man a Scorpion tank and support the UNSC by providing them cover. Okay, that's fine, but oh my god, Mickey is so annoying.
I am gonna rip out your heart and show it to your dying eyes. I hope you're not too attached to your head.
Constantly quipping and giving his shit takes. This ended up being my least favorite mission to play, and I'm not even sure if that had anything to do with the level design or just because I couldn't stand Mickey's commentary. I had to ditch my Scorpion tank pretty early on and came across this arena with a ton of turrets and a ghost taking recon, and I felt severely outnumbered, and it wasn't like I could just revive my dead tank. The struggle did eventually shift in my favor upon finding some beam rifles hidden behind some Covenant crates, but this really rubbed me the wrong way, bringing back that feeling of infuriating level design that I felt all the way back with Halo 1. I don't know, it could have just been Mickey's bullshit putting me in a bad mood. Fuck Mickey, all my homies hate Mickey. Thankfully, the mission did redeem itself. Mickey is reunited with Dutch, and what follows is an incredibly fun arena. Working side by side with Dutch and the UNSC, making your way through the outer halls of the map and taking out sniper jackals, looping around and culminating with punching out another tank.
Keep it up, Mickey. We almost got him beat.
Oh, it just never gets old. Mickey and Dutch meet up with local law enforcement, and then, well, it's back to the streets. Ah, the jetpack apes are back. So while you're in the Streets hub, occasionally you'll find these audio log comms that shed a bit of history to the player, mainly focused around the city's AI Virgil and this girl that's trying to find her father during the Covenant takeover. And aside from showing you the war from a new perspective that isn't in extended media, a lot of this you won't really understand until you've beaten the game, with it alluding to a plot twist later on. Like, why is the city AI talking to this girl? Is the AI becoming self-aware? I mean, I guess, but not in the way that you expect. Oh man, who knew destruction could be so beautiful? We're back with Dutch again, this time demolishing a bridge? I'm not exactly sure why. Do they know that the Covenant can just fly? Regardless, I did enjoy this moment though. The tension of falling back, arming the charges, and then providing cover with some heavy artillery, it was a lot of fun. Dutch sets off the charges, destroying the bridge where the rest of the troops fall back into what I'm assuming is Oni Site Alpha, the name of the level, clearing out large open fields of brutes and hunters along the way. Okay, I'm not using a Spartan laser on you, I would just rather die. In retrospect, I probably could have used a grenade.
Left side, Dutch.
Alright, look buddy, I'm not ready for hand-holding, just give me time. That was a bad joke. Just cut that. The police have rigged the place to blow, and we gotta defend the explosives for a bit. Though I'm not exactly sure for how long. Is it just until we can catch a window to escape? It actually wasn't too bad, though. It hit a point where I needed to take the fight to the brutes themselves, and it felt like I had to do that to get a move on, but I'm not exactly complaining. Oh, I did not miss these assholes. Thankfully, they're pretty squishy, as bugs should be.
What did you do that for?
Hey, look, I'm sorry, he walked into my line of fire, but that was on him. Wait a minute, is that just a normal reskinned plasma rifle? I thought the brute plasma rifle was supposed to be a bit faster than this. Mickey and Dutch are picked up by the UNSC, finally making radio contact with Buck, hoping to rendezvous by the New Mombasa police station, where Mickey is just a little bit too excited to be destroying major landmarks. Better hope we evacuated everyone from that building, or else when all of this is over, we should probably investigate Mr. Mickey Mouse over here.
It's out of the park.
Alright, look, I've seen a lot of crazy shit, but how the hell did you get a sniper rifle stuck up there? Whoa, dude, you're gonna get electrocuted! Don't- Your armor better be insulated, oh my god. So just as the team is about to reunite, they're separated yet again by a couple of banshees, with Buck vowing that they're going to find the team whether they're dead or alive. You know, as the game goes on, I think that I enjoy Buck's character more and more. It's obvious that he genuinely cares about his team. And on top of that, this is another great level we've got here. I love the high-up skyscraper setting we've got, moving in and out of tight hallways to large open rooftops, combined with the gorgeous sunset that gets progressively darker as the level goes on. It's really nice and adds to the scale of the mission. Okay, it was nice. Eventually, the team convenes together on the helipad of a nearby building, pinned down by the Covenant, and oh man, was this a highlight for me. Working together with the team, using these missile turrets to take out Covenant Banshees, miniguns for the smaller goons, and even a Spartan laser to snipe down some of these aerial threats. The only negative comment I can make about this sequence is that I found out the rocket launcher doesn't have a lock-on for some reason, but that's just a nitpick with this overall incredible sequence of events. Wait, did I die or did I just skip the cutscene by accident? Oh well. Come on, rookie, try harder. You can do this. Looks like Romeo took a bit of a beating, a punctured lung to be exact. Well, that's nothing a little science foam can't fix. With the city's transportation out of commission, Buck hatches a fairly unique plan. We're gonna hijack a motherfucking Phantom, with Buck sending in Mickey to GTA the thing once everyone's out. He's gonna die, isn't he? He better. God damn it. We got a lot of engineers here. Those massive space urchins that we saw back in Buck's opening mission. I guess I forgot to mention that sometimes you'll see these guys roaming around the open world, providing overshields to nearby Covenant. But once you take their shields out, they pop like goddamn Dollar Tree bottle rockets on the 4th of July. Those are a thing, right? The only time they gave me trouble was when I found a whole bunch of them huddled together, constantly feeding each other shields. I just flew past them and didn't even bother after a while, cause fuck it, they ain't hurting anybody. There's an argument to be made that this is an escort mission. Protect the friendly phantom while you attempt to escape the city. But I'm not even sure if the thing can die, which is a really nice feeling. You've never really been able to take out these massive carriers in the previous games, so it's a rewarding feeling to finally have the tables turn. That is, assuming that this thing can die. I didn't have it die. Oh man, I totally forgot about the gravity hammer. Looks like Ancient Gods 2 came early, boys. Jesus Christ, they've got a scarab. Oh man, imagine what it would be like to get stepped on by one of these things.
Get behind it! Shoot it in the ass!
By the gods, I will flatten you from the inside out! Buck and the gang escape the city, guaranteeing their happy ending, until Buck remembers what Veronica told him at the beginning of the game, and in a moment that doesn't entirely make sense to me, Buck realizes he knows where Veronica is if she's still alive, and orders the team to turn back into the city just after Romeo says he won't even go back in there if he's ordered to. Better put your money where your ad-lib ODST armor joke is. Wait, I think I read that wrong. But it seems like Buck wasn't crazy after all, where Rookie, the player character who has yet to have a proper mission aside from wandering around the city playing with whatever toys he can, gets an SOS broadcast from Veronica Dare, and from that point on, it's time for our Rookie to jump into action, making his way to the city underground. This moment here before the underground entrance was another highlight for me. There's something about this small arena that just felt so right. I feel like I can't put it into words, but the enemy placements, drops, going from the carbine to the beam rifle to the fuel rod, and adapting to the environment to overcome the challenge, it just felt so finely tuned. Oh, don't use your hands! Oh my god, at least get better gloves! You're gonna get such bad rug burn! Oh god! Alright, I guess it wouldn't be Halo without an endgame level that overstays its welcome. Data Hive is overtly repetitive, but I'd hesitate to compare it to the library, one of my least favorite levels in the entire series. And I've gotta say, it might be because I'm fighting Covenant here instead of the Flood. Speaking of, we don't see any Flood in the game at all. That might be why I'm enjoying it so much. Look, the Flood are cool in lore, but I do not enjoy fighting them. Eventually, Rookie comes across a stranded police officer, saying that he's been trying to get down into the lower level, but the terminal's gone into lockdown. But almost as if they're being watched over, wink wink nudge nudge, the hatch unlocks itself shortly thereafter.
Welcome. Access granted.
Buggers! Look out!
God damn it, where's some bug spray when you need some? I'm starting to feel like that Russian family in Joss Whedon's Justice League. This police guy is durable too. I left him alone for a minute and he was able to withstand getting shredded by these brutes.
Welcome. Access granted.
Alright, something's definitely going on here.
Oh no! They're up here too! Coming out of the damn vent! Get back! No! Ah!
Crime doesn't pay.
Was that intentional? Please tell me that was intentional, because if not, that was fucking comedy gold.
It's you. I thought... Never mind.
Wait, hold on. Did you think I was Buck? Were you about to fucking blast that motherfucker? Y'all need couples therapy.
Some idiots blew the building at the top of the shaft. Woke the whole hive.
God fucking damn it, Mickey. So as it turns out, Veronica has been held up in a compound for the city's superintendent AI, but never made a run for it as the only way to the compound is through this hive of bugs. But with Rookie by her side, a guy who's done jack shit in the game except for twirl a compass around, they might actually have a fighting chance. And man, this segment's a bit boring. Maybe it was this big open scaffolding room, but I just wasn't a fan. It felt way too easy to get overpowered, and I just felt that it ruined the flow of the game for me.
Your pets. All dogs must have arms.
By the prophets, you will pay for your insolence!
Bro, stop talking to that door. It's not gonna listen to you.
Oh no!
Alright, I take it back. Rookie and Dare make it to the data center, only to find an engineer has made a home in its inner workings. And while Rookie is ready to blast the thing into Gogurt, Dare reveals a startling revelation. These engineers are captives of the Covenant, used essentially as living supercomputers for their armies. Not soldiers, but slaves, rigged with explosives to keep them from falling into enemy hands, who hate the Covenant just as much as we do. Oops.
This one has taken the superintendent's data and combined it with its own.
Okay, that's really cool, but what the fuck is going on with your suit? The Hive awakens in some really unfortunate timing. And speaking of unfortunate timing, hey Buck, can you help us get out of here for a minute?
You. Stay behind me. Okay?
Wait a minute, I know that sound effect. I can't believe engineers are powered by bug bait.
If I could safely capture more of them, I would. What they know could win the war.
Oh.
You haven't killed any of them, have you?
No! Well, maybe one or two. What was that for?
Yeah, you seeing this too, dude? What the fuck? We've got one final trek through the streets of New Mombasa before Buck and Dare get into a domestic argument for the upteenth time, all the while the engineer... I love him.
Take my advice, Rookie. You ever fall for a woman?
Make sure she's got balls.
Oh, I might, but not in the way that you mean. Oh great, it's another escort mission. And this one really overstays its welcome. With the aid of Buck as your gunner, you gotta drive your Warthog around the convoy to keep it protected. And until the engineer provides its shields after the second or third checkpoint, the thing is pretty fragile. I even had it blow up on my first attempt.
Veronica, talk to me! Veronica! I have him in my sights.
But after that, it was my ass that kept blowing up. You move from a Warthog with a minigun to a Warthog with a railgun to a Scorpion tank, which, Buck, how the hell did you get all the way back there? Alright, I guess he's back now. Just came out of a broom closet like he's playing Left 4 Dead. Oh yeah, did I mention that the fucking Covenant are back? I mean, it is pretty cool seeing their excavation from a new point of view, but it does raise some questions. Buck and Dare both point out that they're starting their excavation, and my immediate thought process is, how the hell do they know that they're excavating the Earth? Did the Covenant Phantom give them intel? I'm not sure if the engineer is able to communicate with Buck or Dare yet, so I don't know if he could have told them. Whatever, it's just a nitpick, it's not a big deal. Though I'd be lying if I said I didn't hyper-focus on this when I first played the game and considered it a bit of a plot hole.
Covenant bastard! This is like Reach all over again!
Oh yeah, I forgot all about Reach. I should play that one again. Last time I played it was when it was my first Halo game. The convoy is intercepted by a Scarab, blasting it to a near crisp, where the team is forced to take refuge just off of the freeway until the Phantom Boys can show up. And this is an all-out war with the Covenant, a final standoff against jetpacking brutes, and even the return of these Golden Hunters. At least on Heroic, you don't really see many of these guys. All the while, Virgil is keeping your shields up. Oh yeah, this thing's Virgil, by the way. Did I point that out yet? I'm also reading on the wiki that this thing's name is Quick to Adjust. That sounds like a stand name. I'm guessing that's some extended universe stuff. The Phantom Boys show up with Virgil reasonably afraid to set foot, or tentacle, onto the Covenant ship, but after a bit of manual persuasion, the team secures Virgil and, for once, finally with everyone reunited, the group escapes into the sunset. Of course, Romeo has to ruin the tone a bit by pulling a bit of sexism.
We went through hell for that?
It's important. It knows things.
I wasn't talking about the alien.
Oh, come on, who wrote this? Joseph Staten? I know you're better than this. Oh, I guess he's not. This guy's almost exclusively written for Halo. Oh, look at him! He's got a new toy! Oh, I love him so much. Also, I love that the whole group is standing up, but nope, there's just Rookie asleep under some stairs. I think that they just managed to create the most relatable character in Halo mythology right here. Doesn't do jack shit and sleeps under stairs. God, I wish that were me. Cut forward a month later, and the returning Sergeant Johnson is ready to cooperate with Virgil in probably my favorite scene in the game. I love the chemistry between these guys, albeit a bit short-lived. I'd love to see more of them in the future, which I know probably won't happen given that... Oops.